A few days ago, I met Jackee Budesta Batanda at a writer's retreat where she was the instructor. She is a lively young woman bursting with energy and knowledge. She said that doing this is her way of sharing what she has learned in her writing journey.
The blessings I have had in my writing life, I have been taught by some of the best writers around the world. I have been a recipient, I like to say I've been a recipient of literary initiatives from the Western world, from Denmark to the UK to the US.
Jackee is currently managing an initiative called Success Spark Brand, where they run writing workshops, writing retreats, and book editing services.
I really want us as Ugandans to write more, but I also know we don't have the writing skills. I have built a connection with writers internationally, and I'm thinking this is the best I can do to give back, because other people have invested in me, and the best way to do it is to also invest in other people.
Her early years were spent in Bugolobi, a Kampala suburb. Growing up in the 80s, she feasted on the stories her siblings read and shared with her on the nights when there were power outages.
And they made it seem so real, and I wanted to go in those different worlds. I think I was a very impressionable child.
Her mother passed on when Jackee was just 8 years old. Her father insisted on buying his children books and having them share what they had read when he got home from work.
He inadvertently led me to the love for reading and subsequently the love for writing, because I reached a point I was like, wow, I want to be like these people.
She knew from a young age what she wanted for her life.
I wanted to create worlds. And how? With words.
That young Jackee would definitely be proud of the 35-year-old Jackee today.
If I was to go back to my young self, I would tell, you're on the right track. Don't worry, you're going to go places.
She, like many children, was awed by airplanes and remembers waving up at them as they passed, imagining that someone would spot her and wave back. She relives that memory as a plane flies by.
Every time I travel, especially over Africa, and I am sitting by the window, I just wave. Like, I know the children are not seeing me, but I know like there are certain kids that are doing the same thing.
Her first published book was The Blue Marble, a children's book.
Right now, I'm revising a novel. It's based on the Kanungu massacre. The characters and what happens is all make-believe. So that is the beauty about writing. You can take a real-life event and you create something new.
An excerpt from that book is featured in Africa 39, a collection of 39 African writers under the age of 40 who it is believed can shape the future of literature on the continent. Like Mark Twain, she believes that the day you realize what you're on earth for or to do is only second in greatness to the day you were born.
Most highest way to worship God, I believe, is making use of the talents that you have, because then you impact people.
She is quick to point out that it can be quite difficult to be a writer in Africa. Jackee comes across as very organized, not just in her home, but also with the way she goes about her life, setting timelines and working towards set goals. She remembers what it was like doing her master's degree in South Africa.
When you take risks and you dream big, I love to believe that the universe, you send a message out and things start working in your favor.
Because Jackee had fantastic grades at her undergraduate level, she got a postgraduate merit award, which meant that her tuition in South Africa was covered. What she had to do was figure out her living expenses, air ticket, and everything else.
At that time, Oxford University Press in Britain had contacted me, so they wanted to run 2 of my short stories in their collection. It's called Oxford Bookworm Series.
Jackee was rewarded for her stories, and that money covered her air ticket. Her one regret is that she never gave much attention to the science subjects when she was in school, focusing instead on the ones that got her where she is now. She, however, believes that if her father had forced her to excel at sciences, she might have stifled the writer in her.
Anytime I have won any award for my writing, he's a very proud father. Right, then he'll have a chance to talk with his brothers. Have you read, by the way, Jackee has been, and I mean, every parent needs that kind of, it's, sometimes the parents live through their children. So as much as you encourage them, do the best that you can, but also give them space to explore who they are and what their talents are.
She clearly remembers when she made the distinction to write as a professional and not treat it as a pastime.
That would be September 2000. And why it is very clear in my mind was when I joined the Uganda Women Writers Association, FemWrite. That is when I found a collective of women writers. So it was not crazy that, oh, you know, I'm in my world, I'm writing these little things. And so FemWrite was the foundation for the move to professionalism.
She marks the events in her life with the stories around them. One of her favorites was when she was in O-level, and an ardent reader of Danielle Steele, she wrote a novel and sent it to the famous author's publishers.
And I was amazed that Bantam Press did write back to me, someone from there. I love to say a lovely editor wrote back to me, and they asked me for a synopsis and 3 sample chapters. Lo and behold, I was like, what is a synopsis?
So she wrote a synopsis and sent it back. Unfortunately, her manuscript was rejected for the reason that it was handwritten. This did not discourage her. It was the start of things to come. It was a little harder in school, and she is thankful for her family.
A child's confidence is built up in the home. So if you don't let them see the impossibilities, then they will go out and do amazing stuff. It's just like, you know, this is the child I have, and how do you encourage them to be their best?
Jackee is from Busia district. In her own words, she was born, bred and buttered in Kampala, doing her primary education at Nakasero Primary School. She then went to Maryhill High School for O-level and Beranyanji Girls School for A-level. Josephine Karunji, NTV.